Welcome to episode 8 of The Emerald Gem. My name is Sean from Balcony Bridge. I'm here with John Thornburg from Asterhouse.
That you are.
Oh man, I love this guy's energy.
I'm almost ready to go. Let me just finish this chip. Cracker.
So today I was like, dang, I need to do my homework because you sent me the EP that you're going to release.
Yeah.
Is it coming out this week or next week?
Tomorrow.
It comes out tomorrow.
Yeah, in a few hours, apparently.
Holy shit.
So,
okay,
yeah.
Congratulations.
Well,
That's awesome.
thank you. I can't wait to move on from this nightmare that I've created.
Why is it a nightmare?
Well, you know, it's so funny. I'm kind of my own worst enemy when it comes to this stuff. Like, I want to work very quickly because the more I kind of ruminate. Don't cut that, by the way. Slice of life. Slice of life.
Yeah, keeping it real.
Yeah. But the longer I kind of ruminate on certain things, I kind of can destroy them very quickly. And
Gotcha.
the self-doubt kind of comes into play.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
like, I guess kind of what I like to do is do as much as I can, as fast as I can. But then it comes out not sounding very good, but I'm like, at least it's done. Like, you know, and I call it kind of song constipation, where like I'll be like working on something and like that moment is kind of gone in a weird way. Like the moment I wrote that song is kind of the special
Right.
moment. And then when I'm tinkering with it, it kind of feels like a little disingenuous to me in the moment, but I mean, that's probably going to do more harm than good for me. But I try to go extremely fast because I'm very impatient.
I did see, I think it was in the EP that you're going to release because I was listening to a bunch of different works that you've released. It literally said like the date, the time, and then there was like 3 songs that were like just a few hours separate from each other.
Yeah, you know, because I get very bored, you know, and so I had, that was one that was called Nimbus, which was one I recorded and released maybe a couple years ago.
Right.
And the idea for that one was to just take one day and have the day for the person, the main character, start really amazingly in a great relationship, and then in the span of a few hours, like everything goes wrong, and then the person starts to kind of descend into like madness, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it's very like melodramatic, but I just had that kind of idea. And then the record that will be out soon is about. I like to think of it as it's kind of like an ode to a lot of my like closest friends.
Okay.
Because I have lived, I've moved around a lot, but I've lived within the same several square miles.
Gotcha.
So I've moved to like this house and that house, but it's all within kind of this like city limits. So what I've noticed, you know, in the last couple years is my memories of childhood has been seen through many different lenses as I've grown up.
Right.
And it's almost like the memories have morphed and changed, and I don't really understand them anymore because so much time has gone by. And like I'll drive down, you know, streets that I, you know, grew up on, and like I feel like I can still see myself out there, like playing basketball or whatever. Like, you know, I always say like the ghosts are still there, and so I kind of wanted to write an album about the fact that I don't go anywhere. You know.
Well, I think it's kind of cool, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you've how old are you now?
Yeah, 31.
31? Nice. You look good for 31. Jeez, what's with all these people who look really young? Yeah.
Well, you know, sucking the blood of the innocent helps.
That's the trick.
Yeah, and don't cut that out either. Slice of life.
Dude, I'm loving your energy right now.
Oh, thank you. Been a long day.
Yep. I can definitely relate to that. Okay, but yeah. So the thing though about like you kind of represent where you're from. You know, like you've grown up here. You spent so much time here. It's like there's got to be, I feel, a lot of ownership for Seattle and the area, and then, like some level of being proud. You know. Yeah,
and you know it's interesting to also see the people within those spaces change as well and mature and grow up. And, you know, I've been here for so long that I've had really close friends leave and then come back to me, and then their perspective has changed. And so it's like, I feel like, I was describing this the other day, I feel like this is the first time in my life where I've actually tried to kind of see everything. Like, I'm not afraid to kind of look back at my youth and understand it. And so I'm like, well, I feel like this might be a good time to create those songs, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's kind of what's going to be released in a few hours. So,
well, hell yeah. I think it's really cool because I did notice that like that's an impressive skill to develop as a songwriter, is to be able to tell stories in your songs and then be able to tell a story throughout an album.
Yeah.
Right? I think you're
thank you.
mentioning that the album that's about to come out. What is it called?
It's called, ooh, wow, I should remember that. It's called Oh, the Places I've Been. It's kind of that little play on the Dr. Seuss book, Oh, the Places You'll Go. Yeah.
Okay, I
And it's
gotcha.
funny because I've been nowhere. But the very few places I've been in very deep. It's like
Okay.
every nook and cranny.
That's kinda cool.
I've been to,
Yeah.
So.
I mean, who knows? Maybe I think there might be a theory out there where it's like you can travel and see the world and experience and grow that way.
Yeah.
But then also you might be able to experience the entire world within like 20 square miles.
Yeah,
I don't know, you know?
I totally agree with you. There's a Beatles song, without looking out of my window, I can know
What
the
the world
ways on
is.
Earth or
Oh
something.
my God. I wonder if that's how cats feel. You know?
Yeah, I mean the cats I've had have all ran off, so I wouldn't know. They're actually like, I gotta get out of Kenmore right now. This is where cats go to die.
So you are the front man for Asterhouse, right?
Yeah,
And-
I've been told. Yes.
And I find it impressive that you're the drummer and the singer for that band.
It helped to have no friends, so I practiced all the time.
No, hey, I can understand. I definitely went through a phase of my life up until like very recently, like in my mid-20s, where I felt like I was actually able to connect with people and make friends. And it was hard, like especially in my early 20s, because you're like, oh, my early 20s are supposed to be this fun, good time. But then you're like, I can't relate to anybody.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
I'm not in school anymore. So like people aren't readily available for me to talk to and make friends with.
Oh, right. Yeah, you're kind of floating out of no man's land, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then you're like, who the fuck am I and how am I fitting in this world?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's also that like early mid-20s, that pressure to define exactly who you are.
Yes.
And
right off the bat.
Yeah, and I felt like I'm still in a process of defining myself, and I trying to come to peace with the idea that I probably will never finish that. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of one thing that I'm trying to swallow, is like realizing that, as life goes on, like my brain's gonna change, my body's gonna disintegrate, and and then I'm gonna die. But just kind of being okay with like not knowing everything about myself, and sometimes it's fun to be surprised, like, oh, I didn't know I was afraid of that. Back to therapy,
That's interesting. That's because I was just thinking about that on my drive over here. And I was
We've
like,
had so many brain
dude,
connections.
yeah, what is going on, man?
Yeah, we gotta just talk, you and me. None of this.
Yeah, but I was thinking about that, about how special and great it is to. One, I think it's something that you have to work on, is to have that mindfulness of noticing whatever your flaws are, the things you're trying to work on. But I think it's also kind of a fun part of life, if you're willing to go through the change and accept those things that you need to work on within yourself.
Yeah.
And then you're kind of like, this is fun.
Yeah.
Working on myself is fun.
Right, yeah. And I always like, one thing that I love to do, especially when I'm meeting new people, is I like to clear the room with a self-deprecating insult. And then everyone's like, okay, we're going to be all right. This guy already knows what's wrong with him. And then also you've beaten them to the insult.
Oh, nice.
It's just kind of like a balloon. It just
Like, you can't bring me further down than I can myself.
Yeah, right. I'm taking me down, not you.
I love
it just like lets that air out of the balloon. You know what I mean?
If you're going down, I'm going down first. Something like that.
It's
I
like
love that.
quickest to the floor wins. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I used to take myself way too seriously, and that was such a detriment.
What was that like, taking yourself too seriously?
I mean, it was boring and stressful, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because I was not really living my own life. I was living a life constantly in comparison. And with that comparison, there really wasn't ever any victory, because I was not happy. And even if I would best somebody, whatever you want to call that, or if I would get to a point that I felt proud of, I was always then dissatisfied with where I was, and then so the goals would get higher and higher. And so I would
that's a common theme, I think, about like being a person, like going through the thing of life.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's like a capitalist Western thing that we're
probably.
going through,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because I've talked to people, like people who are older than me, you
Yeah.
know, who are like giving some advice as being mentors or whatever.
Yeah.
And that is a common thing. It was like when you're, because I like to describe myself as somebody who's ambitious. Like, I get anxious, or a lot of my self-doubt comes in if it's like I'm not going to be able to achieve the things that I want, or I'm not going to get to that place that I want. And I
Right.
feel like people try to tell me that if that's the kind of person you're going to be, then like you're saying, it doesn't stop.
Yeah.
It's like you reach these milestones and you almost like poison yourself because you can't even appreciate them enough when they happen, because you're like, I'm still hungry. I'm like, I'm not fed enough. I need more.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not good enough. So I'm gonna
not good enough.
Yeah, it's not good enough. And then you're in that endless loop of try, and then you're only fighting yourself. You know what I mean? And I definitely was like that for a long time. And then I just gave up.
That's the secret.
Just lose and everything's gonna be all right. And all your dreams, if you dream small, all your dreams come true.
Oh fuck, man. That's I like that. But at the same time, man, I have to dream big,
I know.
But
I know.
it does. Expectations, right, or everything. Like set your like. I dream big. There's things that I want, but there's also an understanding of that. To dream big, right? Like I was talking to Hannah, we were on the podcast, sitting in this booth, and we were talking about shit. I'm losing my train of thought. We were talking about things like that.
The booth is just distracting.
You're still in my thoughts, booth. But yeah, we were talking about things like that. So it's like the universe is rooting for you. When you set out to do something, we are the universe experiencing itself. The universe is like, let's fucking do it. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
But when it's something like, let's say a big dream, like for me as a musician, sure, I want to play the biggest stages, see the world, do the thing on that level.
Yeah.
You got to understand, like, there's a lot of steps involved, and it's like you're building a pyramid. Like it takes a lot. And sometimes life can happen or things fall apart, and then it's not going to work out.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's part of managing your expectations, and I think when you can get to that point of like managing what your expectations are, then you can try your best to just appreciate where you are now.
Right.
Because it's like that's what is and that's what is happening, and don't get so hung up on getting to a certain place.
Absolutely. And my sorry, I'm getting emotional here. One thing that it's a kind of a constant theme in my life is anytime I've tried to structure something or work towards something, it's all gone horribly wrong. And I don't know if that's like me almost self-sabotaging. It probably is, honestly. But like, I feel like anything that's really made an impact in my life has been purely accidental. For what reason, I have no idea.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you have like an example you can pull from?
Well, I'm trying to think here.
Because I can understand that. Like sometimes opportunities do just kind of find you at the strangest time, and then you're like, oh, okay, wow. It's this idea of like somebody was talking to me. There's like a book about it.
Yeah.
It's the difference between force and power.
Yeah.
And power is like when you feel there's a natural flow and things are kind of just working out.
Right.
To put it simply.
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing because this was explained to me. And then force is when you're literally like paddling upstream.
Right.
Because you're like, I want to get to the other side of the bank, and it's like, go, but maybe the stream is like, no, go further down the river, and then you'll get to the other side of the bank. But you're like, I'm getting to the other side of the bank right now.
Yeah, I mean, completely. It's just kind of like dealing with the peaks and valleys of life is always such an interesting journey. And then I always find that I learn so much more when I can look back after time has passed, because when it's happening, I'm just so in like the beehive of my mind, and I make things extremely like personal, and I'm like, oh, this is all my fault. I'm always kind of assuming that I've created the destruction in my life. But it does take time to actually look back and be like, oh no, there was moving parts that I missed. It wasn't just me. Maybe it was society or people that I knew or coworkers or
things
friends
out of your control.
Yeah, things out of my control. Yeah. There's a quote by a monk, and his name is Ajahn Brahm. And the quote is, relax, everything is out of control.
Ooh.
And I remember hearing that, and it was just like my mind blew into a gazillion pieces, and it resonated so deeply with me,
I like that you said gazillion.
Gazillion, yeah.
That's what I take from that.
Yeah,
I just added gazillion to my vocabulary.
Yeah. And did you see my mouth was making the M for million? I was like, no, I got to one-up this. Right?
Gazillion. That is a good quote. I think that all ties into like the same fundamental idea of like that we're talking about here, of like managing your expectations, letting go.
Yeah.
And understanding that most things are out of your control.
Yeah.
What you can't control, I guess, is like what you're gonna eat.
Yeah.
Even then, that can be a challenge.
Hot dogs.
Dude, I had hot dog today for lunch. Did you have a hot dog for lunch?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I did.
You had a hot dog today?
I did.
Oh my gosh.
What is happening
What is
here?
this, man?
We
just become best friends.
We did. I mean, because we weren't filming, but we were talking about mustaches and what else?
I was thinking about my mustache on the way in.
And when I saw the mustache, I was very complimentary. And we've had so many different moments.
Let's go.
Yeah, we are connected, whether you like it or not.
No, it's rock and roll, man.
Rock and roll.
Speaking of rock and roll, when I listen to your music,
Yeah.
I hear like the 70s rock and roll
Oh,
in there,
thank
like
you
in
so
the power
much.
chords of the guitar
Yeah,
tones and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But then I feel like I hear a lot of cool, newer music things in there too.
Yeah,
Like I heard.
yeah.
Like some kind of like weird spacey synthy things going on when I
Yeah,
was listening, and then
yeah.
I hear like some elements of Ty Segall, whatever the fuck his name is. In there
I
a
love
little bit.
him. Yeah.
Okay, sick. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's like a little psychedelic too.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I just I always, when people ask like what kind of music I do, I always say alternative, and I always think that alternative is the lazy way of saying I'm gonna do what I want.
Okay,
kind
I
of
like
thing.
that. That's also kind of punk.
Right? Yeah, it's like deal with it. but yeah, and so I mean, I kind of like to think of every song as its own kind of its own person with its own quirks and its own faults and it's kind of its own soul, and so I like to think of one song maybe, okay, this for me could be like electronic, or this could be just full acoustic, and I always kind of thought of myself as having musical ADHD, so I'd listen to a style of music and then I'd ping the other way, and just ping, 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 like my whole life. And so just to keep myself from not being very bored, I like to incorporate all those crazy elements into one thing. So
What happens when you get bored? Like for me, like I
have
get bored
hot
at work.
dogs.
You eat hot dogs? For me, when I get bored, I just end up doom scrolling.
Oh.
And then I'm like, sometimes I'm like,
serious, my heart.
Your
My
shit.
God, no. Honestly, I would fall into those rabbit holes very easily.
Yeah.
What I'm doing, trying to do, is when I open up Instagram or anything like that, I go right to the inbox. Like, grr. I'm just like, don't want to see it, you know, like, because I just want to be in contact with people I'm supposed to be in contact with. And I will say this too, anyone watching, anytime there's any post from any of my socials on Instagram, just know that before I did it, there was turmoil. There was, I can't believe I'm about to post this shit. Like, I can't believe it, because I always feel so awkward doing that, like adding to it, you know?
Well, what's awkward about it? Like participating in social media, or like what you're posting?
That's a good question.
Because sometimes I don't post on social media so regularly because I'm like, I don't know, what's the why? What's the
Right.
intention? Like,
Yeah.
am I posting on the like our band stuff on social media because it's some vain thing and I want to be a big rock
Right,
star
see
and get
me in this
attention from
way.
people?
Yeah.
Or, you know, so
Yeah,
and people will tell me that they're like, you know, if you're trying to make it,
yeah.
then you need to be posting every single day.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like, I
Yeah.
just don't want to do that.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, I honestly, I feel that same way too. I get very embarrassed. Like, you know, it's like, why is the song that I'm writing more important than like what you're going through? And like, you know what I mean? Like, you
Yeah.
could be posting, you know, my dad died, you know, and then I'm like, I have a new song, you know,
Yeah.
and so it's like that weird kind of feeling of, am I worthy to even step out in this way? And then when I do, I kind of recoil very quickly, because I don't know. I think being an artist is very weird. It's because like we want to share our ideas, because it's
Yes.
coming from a place of, for a lot of people, turmoil and stuff. But then at the same time, that turmoil makes us not want to share it. And so
Yeah.
there's like this kind of like back and forth angel and devil argument I get in with myself about even releasing music, where I go, I don't know if this belongs in, even though it's a small little catacomb, does it even belong there, you know,
Yeah.
among the suffering or the fantastic things in people's lives, like getting married.
See,
you know?
now that's what we were talking about on the last episode. Is it's so strange how you'll go through posts or on the story and you'll see people getting bombed to death, and then the next post could be like some ridiculous thing about somebody like twerking or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't follow that shit, but
Yeah.
you understand like the the juxtaposition there.
Yeah, it's
so
heavy.
Like, for 1 second, you see the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
And then the next second, you could see something beautiful, like
Right.
puppies.
Right.
You know, like
Yeah.
it's insane.
Yeah.
That's more like the shit that I follow.
Right, yeah. Twerking puppies.
No, not twerking puppies. What's your band called?
I can't tell you.
We're the twerking puppies.
Dang, it's not too late for a name change. Never
It
too
is.
late.
No, it is. How'd you come up with Asterhouse?
Oh man, I wish I had a more interesting story. I love Bob Dylan, and especially Bob Dylan, his current stuff, because his voice is so like shredded with, people would say age, but I'm like, oh, it sounds like it's wisdom, but it's probably just vocal nodes and cigar smoke.
Yeah,
but I love like it's just and then there was a song where like he kept saying the word Aster, and I was like, I want to say that in my life, Aster. And then I was driving by what was it, like, not Great Clips, but like Hair Masters or something, and the M was out, and I was like, Aster, there it is again. It's a sign. It's like the hot dogs. It's like the mustache. And then House, I don't give a shit. Put it together. It doesn't mean anything. But it's like flower. Aster's a flower, and house.
Okay.
So maybe it's like the mind. It's like, oh, if you can feel flowery in the house of your mind. That's the bullshit thing I tell people.
Oh, yeah. That's where you're like, I am deep creative.
Yeah, it's like, wow. Yeah, but really, it means nothing.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, balcony bridge doesn't mean shit. It's just fun to say.
It's a great, but it feels so great to hear and say. You know what I mean?
Balcony bridge.
Yeah, and I wondered. I was going to ask if there was any meaning, but
No, we do have a cool story though. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's cool, but there was a process.
Yeah.
One day we were jamming and we were trying to come up with a name, and
Yeah.
Julian said that he likes the name Balcony.
Yeah.
But I went home that day, researched Balcony. There's already a band out there, like a sizable band.
Yeah.
So I came up with Balcony Bridges, and I remember I just wrote it on a piece of paper, and I'm like, don't even, just read it out loud. Don't even think about it. Just read it out
Don't
loud.
look at me.
And then he said Balcony Bridges, and then they took a second, and he goes, I like Balcony Bridge. So he just dropped the S.
Wow, and you're like, no, it's Bridges. God damn it.
No, I was like, damn.
How fucking dare you?
Balcony Bridges sounds way worse.
Kind of like an upscale restaurant.
Everyone's eating on a bridge and like cars are driving by.
Right. Yeah, get some spaghetti or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, hot dogs. I'm going to keep referencing it. I hope that's all right.
No, that's fine. Yeah. Hot
See, I'm
dogs.
gonna when we release the video, gotta have the hot dog reference counter.
Yeah.
Bing,
maybe-
bing, 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 bing.
Hot dogs.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I mean, social media. I think also, even just like, I've always hated seeing like videos and pictures of myself. Like, and so if anyone's like, "Oh, here I filmed you at a concert or took a picture, can you post this?" I'm like, yes, kind of thing. I think I've had that since I was a kid. Maybe this is getting too deep for this, but whatever. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's rock. But one of the very first memories I think my first memory I had when I was a kid was I was in a store, and you know how like in a store they'll film you and then they'll project you onto a TV like in a 7-Eleven kind of thing, and like you can kind of see yourself. And I was really young, and I remember I looked at the TV screen and I was like, who is that? That kid is really ugly. And then I was like, that's me. And then that's when I came to like fruition, like as a human. Like, so my first memory was seeing myself as a human and being like, I don't like that.
Whoa.
And yeah, there's a story for you.
That's wild.
Yeah, and so I can't remember anything before that, but starting the horse race and being like, nah, should probably keep this to myself, kind of thing.
That's interesting, because once upon a time, I like to like
Yeah.
have fun theories.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just think to myself.
As you're falling asleep.
But I'm like, the idea of reincarnation or like living the same life over and over, I'm like, when you die, your life starts at your first memory.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it makes me think, if that's your first memory, maybe it's because like your spirit found your body again, and then you're like, fuck, I'm alive again.
I am telling you, are we the same person? Because I was
I
thinking
don't know,
about,
man, you can't grow a mustache, right?
but I can buy one. I was having that same thought recently, and I was talking to my friend about it. That's the end of that thought. But what is going on here? What is going on between the two of us? It's great. I mean,
it's
but
cool.
yeah, I wondered that too. Man, this should be alcohol.
Yeah, maybe at some point,
But that's crazy. I thought of that too. Do you believe in reincarnation and stuff like that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
It's hard. The things that I believe in are like that the universe is rooting for you.
Yeah.
That there is an interconnectedness of all things.
Yeah.
Like even just between me and you, Max.
Yeah.
The people in that camera, like there's no distance between us.
Right.
In the sense of that, like every atom is accounted for. There's no distance. There's no space. Like there's always something there.
Yeah.
So it's like we're in like this big fucking jello.
Right.
So like just in that sense, like even through science, and this is pseudoscience. This is just me taking information that I picked up.
Yeah.
And trying to make sense of it into what I believe.
Yeah.
And that is that literally everything is connected.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even like just the air that we breathe, right? Like when you're at a concert, you're breathing each other's air.
Yeah.
That's a little gross.
But it's true.
But it's so
Come
true.
see us play.
Come to our concert and breathe each other's air.
Breathe me.
We're actually, that sounds like a Creed song or something like that.
Breathe me. Underbite rock.
That's funny. Yeah, that's how you get the signature Creed sound.
Yeah.
But let's see. So Asterhouse, you did for this stuff that's coming out. You did all the instrumentation.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's something that I've kind of. It's funny because even though I did all the instruments, I'm still thinking about Russ and Julio. I'm like, what would Russ do here? Or what?
Who's that?
Or Russ is my brother from Asterhouse. Sorry.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah, and so even though I did everything myself, there'd be choices made of like, what would Russ, my brother, what would he do here? Or like Julio, our bass player, like what kind of bass line would he have here? So it's almost like they were kind of phantom writing it with me, kind of in the back of my head a little bit, you know?
Cool.
And so even though it is a solo record, it's kind of Asterhouse record. I don't know where Asterhouse begins and the solo stuff ends.
I love that.
Kind of all in the same weird hive mind. And because I love those two. I love Russ and I love Julio. And people, now that I've been saying, I'm doing a solo record, they're like, so Asterhouse is done? I couldn't stop Asterhouse if I wanted to.
Hell yeah, I love
We're
that.
Trapped. We're
This
sinking
train is
sand.
moving.
Right? Yeah. It's like, that thing when you're in sinking sand, the harder you try to get out, the deeper and faster you sink.
Interesting.
That's Asterhouse.
Okay, far out.
But I love it. It's at the end of the day, it's so much fun. Like I'm so lucky that.
How long have you guys been a band?
Oh, long time. I don't even remember. It was 10 years a couple years ago. So now it's probably 12, 13.
Years.
And before that too, because like Russ and I would write music. We're doomed, me and Russ. We're like, and we just, I don't know, like, there's things in my life that don't work out so well, but music has been such a cushion to make all the stuff that doesn't work out. It kind of puts it in context, like, well, at least you can write about it, or.
Absolutely, like music heals. Music
Yeah.
is an outlet. Music is, for many, including myself at times, the savior and
Yep.
the reminder
Yes.
that you have this thing.
Yeah,
to
you have
fall
worth.
on,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. So you have worth because
Yeah.
it's something that can be shared.
Yeah.
But then also it's like it's something for you.
Yeah.
Like it's this gift that's been given. At the end of the day, it should always. At the end of the day, you can always have it for yourself.
Yeah. Completely. And it's cool because I think it shows you that there's still some nectar in some of the worst things that have happened to you. You know what I mean? Like there's still something there that can be spun in a positive way.
Like through music?
Yeah, like it's like you have the worst day of your life, terrible things happen, but then, the next day you make moves to not have that sort of day happen again for other people, so you kind of like learn from those terrible points. And so I feel like music is in a way trying to take any ounce of good from something that probably seems like there's nothing there anyway, Maybe you're just lying to yourself about that. I don't know, but
I'm struggling to follow, but it sounds
I make
like
no sense.
No,
Yeah.
because I think you have a point here.
Yeah.
You're kind of saying like, yeah, it's when something dark and terrible happens to you.
Yeah.
You can take that dark, terrible thing and turn it into a beautiful thing.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way,
Yeah.
And there are certainly, memories in my life where I'm like, that was terrible, but this song kind of puts it in a little picture frame, and I can let it go in that way. It's like, okay, here's what happened, drop it now. You know, so.
See, now that kind of brings me back to what you were talking about earlier, where it's like you have this project, this solo music that you're working on, and you feel good to just record it and then move on from it.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like that is the word isn't right. It's not a tool.
Yeah.
But it's
I am a tool.
No, that's not a tool of recording, but that's like a benefit of recording or something like that, where if you have this idea, just record it and then you can move on from it. Yeah. You know, because I have been that person to just play songs over and over, and then you stew on them, and then they just sit there. And at least like if you record them, then it's like you took a picture of it or something. You have like something to fall back on it, and then you can move on, and then it's about the next track.
Absolutely. You know? Yeah. The next tragedy's coming, so you better get the guitar, right? You know?
Yeah. You know?
It's true, though.
Sometimes more bad things will happen. It's interesting. Music for me I've not always used that whenever bad things happen to me. You know? Like breakups or whatever. Yeah, sure. Is one thing, and it's like I haven't always gone to music for that healing. Yeah. Sometimes I do other things for the healing. But when it comes to breakups, it might be more of a spite thing. Like, no, right, as soon as
you got a spite record.
You know? But yeah, I was just thinking earlier today, because I don't know why, I think I'm at that time of my life. I just turned 28, where I'm like doing a lot of reflecting, and because my 20s are coming to a close. Yes. And then I'm thinking about where my life is.
Come to us.
To the 30s, the dreaded 30s.
We got
you look like you're still in your 20s, so I'm fine.
I act like I'm 8, so it's fine.
You got to keep the inner child alive.
Gotta.
Some people don't want to hear that, and like, you got to grow up. But I think it's important to like keep that inner kid alive. You know, the one that wants to play and that wants to have fun.
You got to nurture
take themselves so seriously.
Yes, totally.
And music helps with that. Yes. Like when I get to go up on stage and just run around like a dog and take my shirt off in front of a bunch of people, like it's liberating. It's
like
freeing.
A dog.
Yeah, you know.
That's so cool.
I do relate to dogs.
Yeah. Love them.
A lot.
Love them. Yeah.
Just learn how to love unconditionally and have infinite amounts of joy.
Right.
And tons of energy.
Yeah.
And sleep a bunch.
Right. People always say I look like a cross between the Nickelback singer and a golden retriever. I don't know if they said that or I said it, but somehow that's me.
I think if you grew, like, I don't know what color your facial hair grows, but if it grows dark like mine, you would look like Kevin Parker. And Kevin Parker is also a guy who like produces everything for himself.
Kevin Parker.
Like he produces all like you know who that is, right?
The name is so familiar.
Tame Impala. So he he does everything, right?
Yeah.
He does all the instruments and produces it.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, whoever that Tame Impala fella is, he's fantastic.
So good.
Currents. Yeah. My God.
Currents is great. His first album, Inner Speaker. Dude, I lose my mind just because it's called Inner Speaker.
Yeah.
Inner Speaker. We all have one.
Yes.
And then he's like, listen to this album. It's my inner speaker. And I listen to it and I'm like,
your life has changed.
This is so good. Yeah, that album came to me actually, and it's I want to ask you this, but I'm going to answer it first.
No, go for it.
I'm going to answer my question first.
I'll just go to the bathroom
and then you answer it. So I never really understood that reference. This album changed my life. Yeah. Like you would hear like great heroes in music talk about, oh, that record changed my life. I was like, oh, you're fucking talking about.
Yeah, What's wrong? Yeah.
And the first record that changed my life was Gary Clark Jr.'s live album. But I want to stay on Tame Impala because that album changed my life because the first time I'd heard it came out in 2010. Yeah. But the first time I heard it was back in 2021. So the pandemic is winding down, and it was the summertime, and I just bought a bike. Yeah. And that bike rescued me because I was exercising. I felt free. I felt like I was flying, and it allowed me to explore Seattle, especially in the summertime when it's the most beautiful here. Yeah. And it was all to the soundtrack of Inner Speaker.
Perfect.
You know, it was
perfect.
So
you never forget those summers. Never.
And every time I listen to that album, I'm back on the bike. You know, and it was also paired with smoking pot.
Hey.
No, smoke pot.
Yeah, we're sponsored.
We're sponsored by. That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Aren't you happy you had me?
So yeah, every time I listen to that, it's amazing how music can just bring all of those sensations back. It's the same as smell, you know, like when we smell something and you're just like rushed with the sense, you're transported. Yeah. You know. Yeah. So now I got to hear from you.
Okay.
Like, what album, if
Oh
any,
my God. Yeah.
any time in your life has just had that impact on you?
Right. Gosh, I mean, there's so many. You know, one that comes to mind pretty quick is Summer Teeth by Wilco. Have you ever heard Wilco?
No,
Summer
but I
Teeth?
know. Well, are they like a Pacific Northwest?
They tour here a lot, like so
Okay,
you've probably
yeah.
seen flyers and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
definitely.
But it was the kind of thing, you know, it's summer, right? They'll always hit in the summer, the romanticized summer where you're like, oh, I don't have a job right now. I'm making new friends and I'm, you know, doing things that I shouldn't, and you know, and then all of a sudden you have that like stamp of that point in time of your life. Beautiful. I love that record. Another one was Adore by the Smashing Pumpkins. When I hear Smashing Pumpkins, I remember when I was a kid, I was like, I didn't even know this was possible. Like this man with this sound, like is humanly possible.
It's cool that you say that because I know
Yeah.
Billy Corgan, Rush was huge for him.
Yeah.
You like
yeah.
Rush? You don't like Rush? Damn, we're not best
I
friends
love
anymore.
Rush. No, hey, I respect them. I respect
There's a
them.
couple albums I like, but yeah,
Yeah.
some of it is a little not for me. But
Yeah.
but he was saying that same thing where he was
Yeah.
like sitting there in his basement listening to 2112, and he's like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah, I didn't know that people could do this, you know?
Exactly.
Or like Strange Days by the Doors. That was, you know,
I had a
childhood.
Doors phase.
Oh, yeah.
It was when I was in college and I just started smoking weed.
Always.
I was like a sophomore in college,
Totally.
and weed took over my
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
And then that's when I started playing a bunch of music with my roommate, and we formed a band, and I fucking dropped out.
Right.
You know. So yeah, that was funny, dude. That was
Yeah.
Sean, sophomore year of college, just smoking a bunch of weed, listening to the Doors.
Oh, so
Started
good.
a band and said, "I'm dropping out of college."
Yeah, me, Jim, and Cannabis just like were together.
It was more Ray Manzarek, the keyboardist.
I met
and,
him in an Ivers.
Ivers.
Yeah,
Like,
like
a grocery store or some
or
shit?
it's a fish fast food. It was on the pier.
Okay,
I
okay,
ran
okay,
into
cool.
George, or not George Harrison, but Ray Manzarek
Yeah.
at an Ivers, and I got to talk to him. He was brilliantly nice.
Dude, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Sorry, I feel like I took the breath out of that because I was like, what the fuck is
I know
Ivers?
you were like, "What's Ivers?" And I'm like,
I'm from the South. What the hell is Ivers?
I know I didn't want to say anything. I'm like, okay, let me talk to you about Ivers now.
Okay, well, that's cool. You ran in. Did you get to, like, a chance to say hi to him or anything?
Yeah,
like
well,
that?
we got to talk for a while. He was so down to earth and
yeah.
I mean, freaky spiritual. Like we talked about, and I was like 9, you know, and I fell in love with the Doors when I was like 3 years old. Like I was obsessed with Jim Morrison, and
Oh, hell yeah.
I'd sing, you know, like all the really bad lyrics. I'd go sing them like in preschools and stuff, and they were like, you know, I know it's not your fault. I know it's your parents. So fuck your parents.
Your parents introduced you to rock and roll?
Yeah.
That's cool, though.
They're still partiers. Yeah, I had the party parents.
I got some young parents. They like to party.
Oh,
you
it's
know?
so fun, right?
Yeah.
It's weird when your friends are like, "I'm using you to hang out with your mom and dad."
Nice, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, fine. Well, I'm using them to have a good time.
I mean,
so.
they took me to my first big show in
Yeah.
a club, and that
Oh,
that
cool.
changed my life. You know, that's
Yeah.
another thing. Like performances. Like, is there a show that you've ever seen that you were just utterly floored by?
Yeah, I saw Incubus, love Incubus too. At the time it was the Key Arena, and that was
Okay.
the first big show. Actually, I saw a big show. I saw like Blues Clues on Ice, and that was life changing because I realized that I had no future. But the
How does that add up?
first, I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, cool. That's fine, man. Blues Clues, given the hard truth.
I know. I was just.
Do you want a clue? You have no future.
I was like, "You're all dead to me."
Oh, shit.
But then I saw Incubus at the Climate Pledge Arena, and I remember I was sitting. We had like literally the worst seats. We were all the way in the back, and I remember looking at my brother, who's in Asterhouse, and I was like, "This is like what I want to do." And he's like, "Yeah." And then he took his shirt off, and I was like, "That's all the confirmation I need."
That he was down?
When my brother, when his shirt is removed, that's a
Dude,
yes.
everyone, I want a friend like that, where like you have an idea, and if they are about it, they just rip their shirt off and you're like, "Let's do it." Like, dude, calm down, man. This isn't Ivers.
This isn't Ivers.
This isn't
That
Ivers,
should be
right?
somehow their slogan. Ivers. This isn't Ivers.
Please keep your shirt on at Ivers.
Oh my, but yeah, I think that was really pivotal in falling in love with this medium, you know?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucking dope, man.
It's a party, you know?
You know, it is. It doesn't have to be a party in the sense of like, hey, let's do a bunch of drugs and alcohol.
Yeah. Let's see Blue's Clues on Ice.
Let's do alcohol.
Let's do it.
But yeah, it's interesting. So I had like a similar thing because I haven't been to many arena shows because I grew up in Austin and we had the Frank Irwin Center, but nobody was coming to play there because it was like 15,000. So like, we're gonna go to San Antonio, Houston, where it's like 25, 30,000 capacity stadiums.
Yeah.
So I didn't go to a lot of stadium shows, but I went to my first show at Climate Pledge.
Yeah.
And Balcony Bridge was actually playing in the park, and some guy was like, "Hey, does anybody want these extra tickets to go see Phoenix and Beck?" And I'm not I'm not a big Beck fan.
That's
but,
okay.
But I love Phoenix.
Yeah.
Like their sound is so catchy.
Yeah.
It came out at like a great time, like 2010, when that like wave of like synth.
It was taking over.
Was taking over. Yeah. And that was a good time in my life, in the sense of like coming of age.
Yeah.
You know? So I remember this guy was like, "Hey, does anyone want any tickets?" I said, "Fuck yeah," because I was riding my bike past Climate Pledge, and I saw the marquee, and I'm like, "Damn, I would love," like a kid, I was like, "Man, I would love to go to that show."
Yeah.
And then here's this guy, just like fortunate, and he just gives it to me.
Wow.
So anyway, so he just gives me the ticket. Yeah. So I'm walking, and it was floor seat, so I'm walking in the tunnel of Climate Pledge, and that is when I had my moment of like to be honest, there was like a dark energy. Because you're underground and it's like everything is like pitch black.
Right.
In a sense, like it's like black carpet, black walls.
Yeah.
And you feel like you're underground. But I was like, I want this. Like I want to be walking in the tunnel.
Yeah.
Going to the stage.
Yeah.
In the fucking arena.
Yeah.
Like the way you could feel the music, like the energy there. There was something contagious. There's something infectious about
it's
that.
like the crowd becomes like its own entity. It's like the 12th man or something, right? It's like there's another being present here, and it's not us. It's all of us.
It's all of us.
It's not you, but it's everyone.
It was insane to just look around and see so many people.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is like, okay, when you see it on video, it just looks like little dots.
Right.
But when you're there, you can see everybody's
and you can
face.
smell them, and like, you know, you're just like, oh god.
It's funny. We're actually going to be releasing a song pretty soon, and the lyric is "I breathe your air." You know, and to me, when I wrote that lyric, it was a long time ago, like in the jam that we did, like a couple years ago, and we brought it back. Yeah. And for me, it was more about "I breathe your air" as in like you're close with somebody.
Right. Yeah.
A little romantic.
Yeah.
But now I like that it has this different connotation where it's like, "Hey, everybody, welcome to the concert, and we're gonna breathe each other's air." You know.
Yeah, welcome to Ivers. Breathe.
That's what it is. Welcome to Ivers. Keep your shirt on, but you can breathe my air. I hope we don't get in trouble for using Ivers in their likeness.
I know. Well, I've already been sued by so many fast food establishments. What's Ivers going to do to me?
Damn, really? Have you? No. Oh, okay. I mean, maybe.
I can't legally talk about it.
I had to sign an NDA and I had to do 100 hours of community service.
I have to actually go get the fish now.
Nice. I love that.
Oh, my God. Dang. Well, no, you know, what's so cool, and I mean, this is an aside, this has been such a fun interview because I keep forgetting that this is all happening, and I get very uncomfortable when I'm supposed to talk about anything that I am up to. You know, like I could talk about you and ask about you all day, but when someone's like, "So, what's your favorite record?" I'm like, you know, kind of thing. But I forgot that all of this was going on.
Dude, yeah, I call this is like the cockpit of the spaceship.
Yeah, this is really nice.
It's like we step into the spaceship and then we just transport and then we just like have fun.
I love it. No, it's been super cool.
Yeah. Well, dude, I'm super happy to have you here. And,
yeah. You know, that wasn't me trying to wind up.
Oh, okay. I was like, if you're done, then
I'll just, you know, when I'm done, I just start counting down.
Oh wow, that sounds like something in a skit or something like that. You know, like you're talking to people and then someone's just like,
you blow a whistle.
You lost my time, mister. You blew your shot.
Time's up. I gotta be out. Gotta be going.
Do you have any shows coming up?
I'm trying to think.
It would be cool to get a release show going for the EP or album that you're about to drop.
Yeah, well, you know, it's so funny. There's so much going on that I didn't really even consider that.
Well, it would be cool to talk about some of your past shows because I have seen that y'all have done some pretty cool shit.
Oh, well,
like you guys played Climate Pledge Arena. You did that.
It was fun and scary. And my favorite part about it was we would play, and there was like the Jumbotron, and we were having fun, and you could tell we were having fun, and then they would go back to a very disgruntled kid, and then back to us, and then and it was just back and forth, and we were just laughing because we're like, they hate us.
I don't know if they hate you.
It was fun.
I mean, it looked like a good time too. And you guys got to do like 4 shows there, right?
Yeah,
that's pretty dope. That's an awesome residency.
Yeah, it was definitely we were shocked by it, and it was a lot of fun.
Well, you guys have some fun music, you know.
Well, thank you.
Damn, I remember what happened. We tried to get a house show going, right? And then the venue fell through, right?
Yeah.
And then we couldn't do the house show.
And it was like last minute, right? Like, yeah. Oh my God. Okay, well, we got to get another house show going.
I'm down.
Let's actually do that. And this is on camera. Let's do it.
So we're gonna hold them to it.
Yeah, it's happening. It's happening.
Yeah. House shows are fun, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
totally.
People just hanging out. I feel like the thing about a house show versus going to a bar is like you almost feel like you're less in public. You know, like sometimes going to see a show at a bar, it's like, all right, I'm going out in public.
Here I am.
And then there's a little bit of anxiety there, you know.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you just roll up to a house show and you got like a couple of your friends there, then you kind of just like fall into the like atmosphere.
Yeah,
whatever,
you're kind of like one of the same thing, you know.
Exactly.
Because there's something about like walking into a venue like by yourself where the venue's not like really packed, where you're kind of like, and I have arrived, and and you know people kind of are looking over at you. Entrances are not my strong suit. So I'll usually just say like, "What's that?" and then I'll run. And I run through the
What's
door.
What's over there?
Yeah, that'll be how I leave today.
So we never saw John again.
But what are you guys working on right now?
So we've got a show coming up on the 8th at Chop Suey.
Oh, cool.
So that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to playing there. And then we have 2 shows in March. We're going to do the Tractor Tavern on the 13th.
Oh, cool.
And then we're going to do High Dive on the 30th.
Oh,
and I'm really excited about the High Dive show because it's with my friend Henry Mansfield, who does, I call his music theatrical ensemble rock. You know,
that sounds juicy.
The way that he tells stories in his music, you know, something that you can probably relate to. That's something I'm bad at. Is just it's easy to follow, and it's fun, and there's so much movement in him as a front man, and then like the movement and the arrangements of his songs. You know? So I'm excited to do that show, and it has a theme. It's going to be the theme that we're working on is cowboy disco.
Oh, well, I'm sure my dad will be there.
Okay, hell yeah, why not?
Are you guys gonna have like? I mean, I don't know if the High Dive would let you bring a horse, but could you guys?
I don't think
bring?
We'll fit it in the door, man.
We'll find a way.
Maybe a pony.
Yeah, we'll see if the High Dive.
Oh, maybe like one of those sticks. It's like a stick with a horse, like stuffed animal on it.
Absolutely.
You know, that'd be a good costume idea. That'd be dope.
I love themed shows.
Absolutely. That's what we're trying to work on, you know, like, because the bigger, greater thing that we're trying to do, right, is like, how do we connect the dots? Right. That's what my friend Chris was saying. How do we connect the dots and bring people together? And on the last episode, I was talking to JP, and he's like, there's a scene for like everything in Seattle. Yeah. Now, how do we like get those scenes to like hang out with each other and merge?
I think I just had an idea because so many people like certain things and hate other things, but you know what everybody loves is a car wash. Could you do like a car wash
show?
But like
in the summer?
But like we're like maybe even in the dead of winter, but everyone's dressed as like the things that swirl, and so the whole show is people are just swirling around with suds.
Maybe.
You're like, I'll think on that.
I'm not super excited about that.
I'll put that in the idea bucket.
I do think there's potential.
Yeah, I just love to be whipped by strangers and suds all over. Yeah. Consider the car wash show.
It's fun. Like one of the scenes that I've been learning about is a hardcore scene, and there's this element within the hardcore scene called hardcore dancing. And what they do is these guys, they go in the mosh pit and they do like cartwheels and shit.
Yeah.
Have you seen that before?
Oh God, yeah.
I've never seen it before. I would definitely like watch from a distance.
Right, yeah. Peace and love.
Like, don't kick me in the face.
I know, because I remember like, it's always funny to see that stuff at the shows where like not a lot of people are there. So it looks like you know, somebody is, cause I'd see a lot of the backwards arm like that.
Oh yeah. Like,
I was like, how are your arms still in socket kind of thing? So I'm watching like with a medical bag usually. I'm going, like,
yeah, exactly. You got to be in shape for that shit. You know?
it's
Exactly.
like, did you get like a health screening before? Like,
It's wild, but that might be able to tie in, you know, like if people wear a costume and then they're like spinning and doing that for the hardcore shows.
I just pictured one person in the center of the pit and then all of these like sud rags just come at you.
Is there, oh man, there's got to be like a suds machine. Like there's bubble machines and there's fog machines. Is there like a foam machine?
Is there?
Can we get on that? Can we look in that?
Yeah.
Can we invent that?
Sud
Make $1 million?
machine. We need it by next month.
We'll call it the Sudser.
I can see you guys doing the show, but like not saying that it was my idea. Like, no, I just thought of it myself.
20 years from now, you'll be like, that motherfucker stole the Suds machine from me.
You guys make like millions of dollars off the Sud show.
The Sud show. Oh, yeah, that'd be funny. Like, we're literally sitting in a bubble bath. Is that a thing? Like a podcast of people in a bubble bath?
That would be so awesome, actually.
Yeah, you know?
I mean, you know, and as you guys continue, I mean, it's going to grow into like other ideas. I can see you guys doing this in a bubble bath.
Yeah. Well, big thanks to Cafe Racer for having us here because they're working on their grand reopening. So when that happens, Asterhouse should get up on that stage.
I'd love to.
They made it. Have you played here before?
Once, a while ago. Yeah,
a while ago.
So
okay.
cool.
Well, they upgraded the stage. They made it bigger, so that's cool.
Yeah.
And then there's also another venue that they're a part of called the Hayu, and that's a boat. Well, I've shot a couple episodes of the podcast on there. But yeah, they're trying to do regular summer events on there. So come summertime, like, wouldn't that be a dream come true to play on a fucking boat?
Yes. Oh,
Asterhouse on the boat.
That would be so wild. You know, I have tried my whole life to make friends with people with boats. And they can tell that that's my angle. I'm like, oh, you have a boat? Like, what do you know, are you doing anything this week?
You have a boat? Can I come over?
And, you know, it's never worked out. They always go, you just love me for my boat.
You just love me for my boat. Yeah. You know, sometimes love is transactional, man. But we still need it.
We need it. We absolutely need it. But yeah, playing on a boat. I mean, we got to do a house show.
Boat shows.
We should do the boat show.
Yeah.
Are you guys working on like any new music right now?
Yeah, actually. So we're going to be releasing a couple of songs that we did in the studio. And actually, starting on Saturday, we're going in the studio for 5 days straight.
Oh, no way.
I've never done something like that before. So part of me is like, I feel like my brain's going to go through like a time warp or something, you know, or like I'm going to go a little bit to like a washing machine and be like, what is life?
Yeah, totally.
You know?
Yeah. Are you like staying the night at the studio? Or?
No, but we're probably going to be putting in 10-hour days minimum every day.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's because I think the longest that we've ever done like a studio thing has been like 2, but 2
days?
At the end of 2, you're kind of
we're
like
fucking insane for going 5 days straight.
Seriously, yeah. And then you kind of like have to go back into society and you're like, well, I didn't fit before, but now I'm certainly like not fitting. You know, like I didn't button all the buttons.
We might start smoking again.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I can't like smoke in public right now. You know, what a waste.
Yeah, our blueprint for it is going to be, we're going to try to do one song a day.
Yeah.
And it'll be in the morning, drums.
Yeah.
We'll get the drums out of the way, and then we'll just layer on top of that. So drums in the beginning of the day, bass, guitars, vocals at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know?
Like how because the vocals is always like super stressful. Like
I think there's a lot of pressure on the vocalist.
Yeah.
You know?
Because you know, like, do you ever have it where they will mute all of the other instruments and you'll go into the control room and you'll just hear just your voice?
Well, I don't sing, no.
Or like the singer in the band.
Geez, I don't know why I can't remember. I'm like, geez, because when I was just sitting on the couch and we were listening while Jillian was recording in the ISO booth, I'm like, yeah, I want to say that I could hear the other music as well.
Yeah.
At the same time, I'm like, maybe not, because everything needs to be really quiet because they want zero bleed into
right.
the ISO
Oh,
booth.
Totally.
Like literally, I was in the bathroom and I turned the fan on, and then our producer comes over. He's like, turn that fucking fan off. He didn't say it like that. He's like, can you turn the fan off? I was like, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, no, 5 days. That's going to be intense.
I think it will be intense, but I'm hoping that the way that we have it structured, where it's like these parts of the day are these sections, then we'll know when we can get our breathing room and our time to ourselves. So it's like, all right, tomorrow morning or when Jacob's doing his bass or whatever, I'm going to take an hour to like fuck off.
Yeah, seriously. It's essential. It's essential.
And breathe.
Yeah.
But then there needs to be a balance there of like when we take our time off, because there is like this sense of camaraderie when somebody's recording and someone's like there to like support you,
Right,
know, and help you
yeah.
out. Literally, when I was doing a solo, Julian was like sending me waves like this, and I'm like, I got it, man. I was able to fucking do it.
Oh, you are a lucky, lucky man. That's to see Julian moving like that. Huh, my heart explodes.
Yeah, you know, just like sending the waves. You know, the
Those
energy.
arms. Oh.
We have adopted this thing from him where we do this right here. You know, and it's just like, can you feel? You know,
It's so
like,
suggestive.
you gotta use the fingers.
Right, get
you know?
those fingers up there. Do you guys ever have arguments in the studio? Because I always hear horror stories about bands going in there and if there's tension, it's bad.
So it's interesting. We are in a relationship.
Yeah.
Right? Like we're in a 4-way relationship, and I think we've done well to be good communicators with each other and to handle conflict well.
Yeah.
You know, so I think they're like great guys for that.
Yeah.
And so far, when we've reached any sort of level of contention, whether it's in the studio, outside the studio, I think we've done a great job to like resolve it.
Yeah.
So that will be tested this next week.
I have a feeling day 4.
Yeah, we'll see.
Like it'll simmer day 3. Like it'll begin day 2. Day 1 is the honeymoon.
Day was like, we're setting up. Here
Right.
we are. Yeah, we're moving in.
Exactly, right? And then day 2, something will happen and it'll kind of rub. I don't want to set this up, but then day 3, it's simmer. Day 4, and then reconciliation.
Yeah.
And Julian going,
Yeah, I'm confident in our abilities to be able to roll with the flow, and there was one point where like my patience reached its limit in the last studio session that we did.
Yeah.
And that was because we were there for like 14 hours, and then I was just like, my patience is gone.
yeah,
And there's ways to avoid that though. It's like what we were talking about earlier.
yeah,
I like having opportunities to improve on myself.
Yeah.
You know, and that's something that I've come to realize recently.
Yeah.
You know, and this is one way that I can do that is patience. you know?
right, yeah.
So I'm excited for that opportunity that's coming up this week.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's gonna, because you guys are all super down to earth and chill. I always think, you know, sometimes like I'll meet bands, and I'll like my first thought is, oh my God, I'd hate to be in the studio with these people.
That's everything, man. That's the hardest thing. Like for me, there was a long journey to get here, to find people that you knew you're gonna be able to make music with, because it's
a
more than the
family.
music. It's a family.
Yeah.
We are brothers, and and like I said, it goes to show like how beautiful this thing is to all of us that we've been able to build.
Yeah.
That, you know, we can handle conflict with each other, and that we care about each other, and we're willing to like compromise and work with each other.
Yeah.
Because those are some of the hardest things to find when it comes to like relationships or life.
Right. And it's like, is the song bigger than the group of people, or is the group of people bigger than the song? And it's like, if you err on the side of the people bigger than the song, you're going to be fine.
Yeah, I need to hear that, because sometimes I'm like certain parts need to be better. You know,
I know,
right?
yeah.
You understand that, like that self-critiquing thing, you know, sometimes
completely.
it bleeds on to others, right?
Right.
But yeah, it's good to hear that and be reminded of that. It's like, it's
Yeah.
always about the friendship. man.
Right.
It's about the friendship, and that you're doing it with people that you care about.
Right.
You know?
And I always feel like musicians are the worst judge of how good something is. You know what I mean? Because like, I always forget that 95% of the population can't play an instrument. So they hear somebody strumming like a G chord on the guitar or like a basic 4-beat, and they're like, sorcery. Like, how is this done? But then we're getting into, oh, did we hear a bass drum squeak? You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like, oh, you know, there was a little pop in the microphone, right? And like, there's 5% of us that just kill ourselves with thinking that way. But then other people, they hear it and they hear a lyric they like, and it changes them. You know, like, it's funny. Like, have you ever heard the Led Zeppelin song "Since I've Been Loving You"?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that guitar solo is one of my favorites ever.
And it's. I remember somebody told me that when they were recording it, you could hear John Bonham's bass drum squeaking, like they needed to like hit some W. Like, listen to it again. I hope I didn't ruin the song for you.
No, not at all.
But I only picked up on it like when I was in my like 20s, because then I had that mindset of like going in and like looking at the tapestry of like the actual sounds that I'm making. But I didn't pick up on that until I was 20 and jaded, you know. And then so I had to remind myself. I was like, you know, when I was a kid, I wasn't looking for those little imperfections. I was just like, this is the greatest solo of all time.
It really,
you know,
it's up there. That's for sure.
Oh God,
it's
yeah,
beautiful.
It's so good. And then now I kind of even like the little bass drum squeak. You know,
Yeah,
it's
see,
human.
that's the other thing. It's like,
human.
you know, musicians like everywhere. hear me.
Yeah.
Don't hold yourself like you said, don't take yourself too seriously.
Yeah.
You know, like it's
Yeah.
okay to have these imperfections
Yeah.
and to just let it be what
We're
it
all
is
just
and get it out
people.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, you got to ask yourself, why do you want it to be perfect? Is it because you're trying to reach a certain standard,
Yeah.
or you want to like hit a certain level of success because that seems to be the route for it?
Right.
At the end of the day, it's about, you know, you just got to let it go and let it be what it is.
Oh,
you know?
completely. Yeah. It's a journey, and I think we're both on that path, you know.
Absolutely. And it's all about just walking the path.
Well, yeah, towards sprinting to death. Yeah. One step at a time.
All right, well, on that note.
I knew. I could see your eyes were like, all right, that is the worst way to wrap it up. But
No, not at all. Dude, I thought it was great. We're talking about the journey and the
I'm
path, you know? But anyway, dude, I'm so happy to meet you. I'm glad
Yeah.
to know you. This has been fun.
This has been so great.
I love your energy, dude.
You too, and I love your stash, and I love that we had so many of the same. It's like we were sharing a brain on the way in. We thought about the same things.
Yeah.
Like I was in the Uber, and I was like talking about mustaches and hot dogs, and just Uber driver wanted me out. So.
And then you come in here and it's like, hey, we got mustaches. I had a hot dog
We're
earlier. You're
good.
welcome. You know?
It all worked out.
Oh, also shout out to Nate Lewis because he hit you. He connected us. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Love that human.
Yeah, he's done so many great things for the scene. He's doing the Bands of Seattle where they post the show listings. He
Yeah.
is lending these mics, so this podcast wouldn't be possible without him.
Oh,
Thank you, Nate.
thank you.
These might be the same mics that he used when you did the podcast with him.
I thought this thing
Yeah.
looked it smelled familiar. Like
I love that.
my mouth has been on this.
From Raised on Rhythm to the Emerald Gem,
Right?
you know?
I love it. It's all that stream, you know. Well,
yeah.
thanks for having me too.
Absolutely,
Like
yeah.
I really appreciate it, you know.
Of course,
It's
yeah.
awesome.
Glad to have you.
Yeah.